Yirmeyahu, Jeremiah chapter 50. The word that Yahuah spoke concerning Babel, concerning the land of the Kasdites, by Yirmeyahu the Nevi. Declare among the nations, and let it be heard, and lift up a banner, let it be heard, and do not conceal it. Say, Babel shall be taken, Baal shall be put to shame, Merodach shall be broken, her images shall be put to shame, her idols shall be broken. For a nation shall come up against her from the north, which shall make her land waste, and none shall dwell in it. They shall flee, they shall go, both man and beast. In those days, and at that time, declares Yahuah, the children of Yisrael shall come, they and the children of Yehudah together, weeping as they come, and seek Yahuah their Elohim. They shall ask the way to Zion, their faces toward it. Come and let us join ourselves to Yahuah in an everlasting covenant, never to be forgotten. My people have been wandering sheep, their shepherds have led them astray, turning them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill, they have forgotten their resting place. All who found them have devoured them, and their adversaries have said, We are not guilty, because they have sinned against Yahuah, the home of righteousness, and the expectation of their fathers, Yahuah. Flee from the midst of Babel, come out of the land of the Kasdites, and be as rams before a flock. For look, I am stirring up and bringing up against Babel an assembly of great nations from a land of the north, and they shall array themselves against her. From there she shall be captured. Their arrows are like those of a mighty skilled man, not returning empty-handed. And Kasdim shall become plunder. All who plunder her shall satisfy themselves, declares Yahuah. Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, you who plunder my inheritance, because you have grown fat like a heifer threshing grain, and you neigh like stallions. Your mother shall be greatly ashamed. She who bore you shall be humiliated. Look, the last of the nations, a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of the wrath of Yahuah, she shall not be inhabited, but she shall be deserted, all of it. Everyone passing by Babel shall be astonished and whistle at all her plagues. Arrange yourselves against Babel all around, all you who bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against Yahuah. Shout against her all around. She has given her hand, her foundations have fallen, her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of Yahuah. Take vengeance on her, as she has done, so do to her. Cut off the sower from Babel, and him who handles the sickle at harvest time. From before the sword of the oppressor, each one turns to his own people, and each one flees to his own land. Yisrael is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First the sovereign of Ashur devoured him, and now at last this Nebuchadrezzar, sovereign of Babel, has broken his bones. Therefore thus said Yahuah of hosts, the Elohim of Yisrael, See, I am punishing the sovereign of Babel and his land, as I have punished the sovereign of Ashur. And I shall bring back Yisrael to his pasture, and he shall feed on Carmel and Bashan, and his being shall be satisfied on Mount Ephraim and Gilead. In those days and at that time, declares Yahuah, the wickedness of Yisrael shall be searched for, but there shall be none, and the sin of Yehudah, but none shall be found. For I shall pardon those whom I leave as a remnant. Go up against the land of Merethaim, against it and against the inhabitants of Pekod. Slay and put them under the ban, declares Yahuah, and do according to all that I have commanded you. There is a sound of battle in the land and of great destruction. How the hammer of all the earth has been cut off and broken. How Babel has become a ruin among the nations. I have laid a snare for you, and you were captured, O Babel, and you yourself did not know. You have been found and also caught, because you strove against Yahuah. Yahweh has opened his armory and has brought out the weapons of his displeasure, for the Adon Elohim of hosts has a work to do in the land of the Kasdites. Come against her from every quarter, open her storehouses, pile her up as heaps of ruins, and put her under the ban. Let her have no remnant. Slay all her bulls, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe to them, for their day has come, the time of their punishment. Listen, they flee and escape from the land of Babel to declare in Zion the vengeance of Yahweh our Elohim, the vengeance of his Chekel. Summon archers against Babel, all you who bend the bow, and camp against it all around. Let no one escape. Repay her according to her work. Do to her according to all she has done. For she has been proud against Yahuah, against the Kadosh One of Yisrael. Therefore her young men shall fall in the streets, and all her men of battle shall perish. In that day, declares Yahuah. See, I am against you, O proud one, declares the Adon Yahweh of hosts. For your day has come, the time for your punishment. And the proud one shall stumble, and he shall fall with no one to raise him up. And I shall kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all around him. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, the children of Yisrael were oppressed along with the children of Yehudah, and all who took them captive have held them fast. They refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong. Yahweh of hosts is his name. He shall strongly plead their case, so as to give rest to the land, but unrest to the inhabitants of Babel. A sword is upon the Kasdites, declares Yahuah, and it is upon the inhabitants of Babel, and upon her heads, and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall be fools. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be broken down. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mixed peoples who are in her midst, and they shall become like women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be plundered. A sword is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is a land of carved images, and they boast about their idols. Therefore the wild desert beasts shall dwell with the jackals, and the ostriches dwell in it, and it shall never be inhabited, nor dwelt in unto all generations. As Elohim overthrew Sodom and Amorah and their neighboring cities, declares Yahuah, so no one would dwell there, nor would Son of Man sojourn in it. See, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many sovereigns stirred up from the ends of the earth. They lay hold of bow and spear. They are cruel, and they show no compassion. They sound like the roaring sea, and ride on horses, put in array like a man for the battle against you, O daughter of Babel. The sovereign of Babel has heard the report about them, and his hands became weak. Distress has seized him, pain like that of a woman in labor. See, he comes up like a lion from the pride of the Yarden against the enduring pasture. But in an instant I shall make them run away from her. And who is the chosen one whom I appoint against her? For who is like me? Who summons me? And who is that shepherd who stands before me? Therefore hear the counsel of Yahuah, which he has counseled concerning Babel, and his purposes he has purposed concerning the land of the Kasdites. The least of the flock shall drag them away. He shall make their pasture a waste before them. At the sound of Babel's capture, the earth shall be shaken, and the outcry shall be heard among the nations. Yirmeyahu, Jeremiah chapter 51. Thus said Yahuah, see, I am stirring up the spirit of a destroyer against Babel, against those who dwell in Leb, my opponents. And I shall send winnowers to Babel, who shall winnow her and empty her land, for they shall be against her all around in the day of evil. Let the archer draw his bow, and let him stand ready in his armor. Do not spare her young men, put all her army under the ban. And the slain shall fall in the land of the Kasdites, and the pierced through in her streets. For neither Yisrael nor Yehudah is widowed by his Elohim, Yahweh of hosts, though their land has been filled with sin against the Kadosh One of Yisrael. Flee from the midst of Babel, and let each one save his life. Do not be cut off in her wickedness, for this is the time of the vengeance of Yahuah, the recompense he is repaying her. Babel was a golden cup in the hand of Yahuah, making drunk all the earth. The nations drank her wine, that is why the nations went mad. Babel shall suddenly fall and be broken. Howl for her! Take balm for her pain, if so be she might be healed. We would have healed Babel, but she is not healed. Let us leave her and each go to his own land, for her judgment reaches to the Shamayim and is lifted up to the clouds. Yahweh has brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahweh, our Elohim. Polish the arrows, put on the shields. Yahweh has stirred up the spirit of the sovereigns of the Madites, for his plan is against Babel to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahweh, the vengeance for his Hekel. Lift up a banner on the walls of Babel, strengthen the watch, station the watchmen, prepare the ambush, for Yahweh has both planned and done what he spoke concerning the inhabitants of Babel. You who dwell upon many waters, great in treasures, your end has come, the measure of your greedy gain. Yahweh of hosts has sworn by himself, I shall certainly fill you with men as with locusts. They shall lift up a shout against you. He made the earth by his power. He established the world by his wisdom and stretched out the Shamayim by his understanding. When he gives forth his voice, the waters in the Shamayim roar, and he makes vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He makes lightnings for the rain, and he brings the wind out of his treasuries. All mankind has become too brutish to know. Every smith has been put to shame by the carved image, for his molded image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are worthless, a work of mockery. In the time of their punishment they perish. The portion of Yaakov is not like them, for he is the maker of all, and Yisrael is the tribe of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name. You are my battle axe, weapons of battle, and with you I shall break nations in pieces, and with you I shall destroy reigns, and with you I shall break in pieces the horse and its rider, and with you I shall break in pieces the chariot and its rider, and with you I shall break in pieces man and woman, and with you I shall break in pieces young and old, and with you I shall break in pieces the young man and the maiden, and with you I shall break in pieces the shepherd and his flock, and with you I shall break in pieces the farmer and his yoke of oxen, and with you I shall break in pieces governors and rulers. And I shall repay Babel and all the inhabitants of Kasdim for all the evil they have done in Zion before your eyes, declares Yahuah. See, I am against you, O destroying mountain, who destroys all the earth, declares Yahuah. And I shall stretch out my hand against you, and I shall roll you down from the rocks and make you a burnt mountain. And they shall not take from you a stone for a corner, nor a stone for a foundation, but you shall be a waste forever, declares Yahuah. Lift up a banner in the land, blow the ram's horn among the nations. Prepare the nations against her, call the reigns together against her, Ararat, Mini, and Ashkenaz. Appoint a commander against her, bring up horses like hairy locusts. Separate the nations against her with the sovereigns of the Madites, its governors, and all its rulers, all the land of his rule, so that the land shakes and writhes in pain. For every plan of Yahuah shall be established against Babel, to make the land of Babel a ruin without inhabitant. The mighty men of Babel have ceased to fight. They remained in their strongholds. Their might has failed. They became like women. They have burned her dwelling places. The bars of her gate have been broken. One runner runs to meet another, and one reporter to meet another, to report to the sovereign of Babel that his city is taken on all sides, and the fords have been captured, and they have burned the reeds with fire, and the soldiers are startled. For thus said Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Yisrael, the daughter of Babel is like a threshing floor at the time it is trodden, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. Nebuchadrezzar, the sovereign of Babel, has devoured us. He has crushed us. He has made us an empty vessel. He has swallowed us up like a dragon. He has filled his stomach with my delicacies. He has driven us away. Let the violence done to me and my flesh be upon Babel, says the inhabitant of Zion, and let my blood be upon the inhabitants of Kasdim, says Jerusalem. Therefore thus said Yahweh, see, I am pleading your case, and I shall take vengeance for you, and dry up her sea, and make her fountain dry. And Babel shall become a heap, a habitation of jackals, an astonishment, and a hissing without inhabitant. Together they roar like lions, they shall growl like lions' cubs. In their heat I prepare their feasts, and I shall make them drunk, so that they rejoice, and sleep a never-ending sleep, and not awake, declares Yahweh. I shall bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with male goats. Oh, how Sheshach has been captured, the praise of all the earth been seized. How Babel has become a ruin among the nations. The sea has risen over Babel. She has been covered with the roaring of its waves. Her cities have become a ruin, a dry land and a desert, a land where no one dwells, neither does a son of man pass by it. And I shall punish Baal in Babel, and I shall make him spew out what he has swallowed, and nations shall no longer stream to him. Even the wall of Babel shall fall. Come out of her midst, my people, and let everyone deliver his being from the burning displeasure of Yahuah. And lest your heart grow faint, and you fear the report heard in the land. For a report shall come 1 year, and after that, in another year, a report shall come, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. Therefore, see, the days are coming, that I shall bring punishment on the carved images of Babel, and all her land shall be put to shame, and all her slain fall in her midst. And the Shamayim and the earth and all that is in them shall shout for joy over Babel, for the ravagers shall come to her from the north, declares Yahweh. As Babel is to fall for the slain of Yisrael, so for Babel the slain of all the earth shall fall. You who have escaped the sword, go away, do not stand still. Remember Yahweh from afar, and let Jerusalem come to your heart. We are ashamed because we have heard reproach. Shame has covered our faces, for strangers have come into the mikdashim of the house of Yahweh. Therefore, see, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, that I shall bring punishment on her carved images, while the wounded groan throughout all her land. Though Babel should mount up to the Shamayim, and though she should make the height of her strength inaccessible, ravagers shall come to her from me, declares Yahweh. Listen, a cry from Babel, and great destruction from the land of the Kasdites, because Yahweh is ravaging Babel, and shall silence her loud voice, and her waves shall roar like great waters. The noise of their voice shall resound, because the ravagers shall come against her, against Babel, and her mighty men shall be captured. Every one of their bows shall be broken, for Yahweh is the El of recompense. He shall certainly repay. And I shall make her rulers drunk, and her wise men her governors, and her deputies, and her mighty men, and they shall sleep a lasting sleep, and not awake, declares the sovereign, whose name is Yahweh of hosts. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, the broad walls of Babel are completely demolished, and her high gates are burned with fire, and peoples labor in vain, and the nations weary themselves for fire. The word that Yirmeyahu the Nevi commanded Seraiah son of Neriah son of Machseiah when he went with Zidkiyahu the sovereign of Yehudah to Babel in the 4th year of his reign, and Seraiah was a quartermaster. So Yirmeyahu wrote in a book all the evil that would come upon Babel, all these words which have been written concerning Babel. And Yirmeyahu said to Seraiah, when you come to Babel and see it, and read all these words, then you shall say, O Yahuah, you have spoken concerning this place to cut it off, so that none shall dwell in it, neither man nor beast, for it is a ruin forever. And it shall be when you have ended reading this book, that you shall tie a stone to it and throw it into the middle of Parath, and shall say, so does Babel sink and not rise from the evil that I am bringing upon her, and they shall weary themselves. Thus far are the words of Yirmeyahu.